The following podcast contains references to Michelangelo's David as having no arms. It does have arms. We knew that. The famous statue with no arms that we meant to say is, of course, Christ the Redeemer. You Tried Dat regrets the error.
Sherlock Holmes famously said, "When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth." Today we will apply that logic in combination with an expertise in the Oreo field that is entirely unmatched. It's time to solve the 2019 Mystery Oreo case right now on You Tried Dat. You Tried Dat, the Mystery Oreo. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
And Nick Geiger.
Hey there.
And guys, it is time to dig deep into this case, it's a cold case, and figure out what is the Mystery Oreo. Now, I'm not familiar enough with this competition. Have they done this in the past before that you guys know of?
Didn't they do it last year or no? Yes, they did it. They did it 2 years ago, and it was like Fruity Pebbles was the flavor or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I had like a really burning question though that I don't think we've covered on this podcast. What do you guys think about Oreos? Give me your thoughts.
Oreos? Cullen's thoughts?
I did not try the Fruity Pebbles when they had it 2 years ago. I kind of wanted to, but just I never saw it in the stores for some reason. So I am excited to try these out. No idea what they could be.
How many predicted dunks do you think you'll give them?
Well, I don't know. The number of dunks that I'm going to give it, that's a mystery.
Does it taste like a mystery? Authenticity check.
What do you guys think of the idea of a mystery flavored food? Is that something that's actually interesting, and you're just like, this is stupid?
I mean, it's definitely dumb, right? It's just like stupid marketing. I mean, we kind of ran into it when we did those zombie Skittles, right? Where it's like, I don't want to be surprised by what I'm eating. Like, I want to know what it, actually, like, there was a time when I first moved to San Francisco. I was actually living in a suburb called Mountain View, which is about an hour south of San Francisco. And I first moved here and I didn't know sort of like anything, like where anything was to eat or whatever. I only knew of this one dim sum restaurant in downtown Mountain View that I had eaten at with my wife and her parents. And my wife was out of town. At the time she was my girlfriend. And so I didn't know where to go to eat or anything like that. But I knew about this dim sum place. So I walked over there for lunch one day, went in, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be adventurous. I'm going to order at least one thing that I don't know what it is. I got the normal stuff that I like to get at dim sum, like, like shrimp dumplings and things like that. But then I saw something come by and it looked like noodles. So I'm like, well, I like noodles, especially like Asian noodle dishes. So I'm going to order that. The guy kind of looked at me like, okay, like, really? But fine. So he gave me the noodle dish. I took one bite and it was just like so rubbery and like really gross. And I immediately was like, okay, I don't know what that is, but I don't want to eat any more of that. Coincidentally, like 2 minutes later, my future in-laws come walking in and they had just decided to also eat at that restaurant. So they come walking in and they see me there. And they come over to see like, oh, what did you order? And they see that it's all the normal stuff. And then my wife's dad says, why did you get the tripe? I had gotten the thing I thought was noodles was actually like pig intestine. And so that was a mystery that was solved to my horror because it was disgusting.
Novak, you told me one time you thought you were going to the restaurant Noodles and Company, but it was actually Pig Intestine and Company. Is that right?
Yes. But however, at the restaurant I went to, they had only fed those pigs Fruity Pebbles, so it is definitely like a separate decent flavor to it.
Mystery tripe flavor.
Do you guys remember I don't know if you remember this. It made me think about Fruity Pebbles when you think about this, but do you remember, am I the only one that remembers this, the old Fruity Pebbles Christmas commercial of the Flintstones when we were kids?
Yummy Fruity Pebbles in my bowl, like where he's like Santa Claus, that one? Ho, ho, here comes you-know-who.
Barney!
Yabba dabba fruity delicious. That one?
Is it this one?
Yeah, that's the one you're
Is it
talking
this
about.
one that I know every word to? Is that the
I
one?
was gonna say, by remember, do you mean couldn't wait for an opportunity to sing it? Is that what you meant? I mean, now that you're doing it, I can kind of sort of remember it, but I couldn't have ever pulled one word of that commercial out of my ass other than maybe Barney, because he did that every time.
Yeah, I just remember him taking like the beard off of Santa Claus that was clearly already Barney, and being like, Barney, I didn't recognize you wearing your shirt, that one piece shirt that goes to your knees, and you being the only person in town.
Why is it that like I know every word to that commercial and like I can't remember I can't remember like basic facts about my life, like what I ate for lunch yesterday, or like actual, like I can't remember important facts like people's birthdays and stuff, but I can remember every word to that fucking commercial.
Oh, I know. Like I remember one of my best friend's phone numbers when I was a kid. Like I can remember a lot of phone numbers from 30 years ago, but I'm terrible with remembering people's names. Like people I've met, they tell me their name and I forget it literally like 20 seconds later, and I don't have their name stored. And I'm like, why the hell didn't I make a point to store this guy's name?
That's easy for me on this podcast because I only have to remember one name. Nick.
Are you good with names, Geiger?
Not really. I'm good at remembering where I met someone. Like I will be able to remember that I met them at like a wedding, or like we ran into them. I first met them when they came around at lunch at some other time, but I could not tell you their name. I just know where it was that I had met them already, which is kind of useless in retrospect, but it makes you feel better when you're like, no, I met you, blah, 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 but I can't remember your name. At least they don't think I completely forgot them or anything like that. Like I met my mom when I came out of her womb. I remember that one. Like I even remember that. I forget the very first person I ever met was my mother.
Yeah.
Do you remember the names of most of the people that you fucked?
That I fucked? Oh, yeah. Let's see. There's the one and the other one. And all these listeners that I've fucked every week by making them listen to this garbage.
I do remember when you dated that girl named the other one. I remember.
Yeah. There was a girl one time that I met at a bar, and it was in college, and she had I think she was Chinese, and she had a very Chinese name, and I don't say that for any other reason than it was like not a typical like Sally or something like that, right? So I wrote her name down, I didn't write her name down. That's the problem. I wrote her number down. And then I think I had no idea what her name was. So I called her, and thankfully her roommate answered. And I was just like, oh, is your roommate there? And she, I got around it. So we set up a date with me still not knowing her fucking name.
So you still don't know her name.
I go there. Half of like lunch has passed. I still don't know her name. I'm just going like, oh yeah, you, and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, okay. I'm like, I steered the conversation purposely toward bad driver's license pictures. I'm like, oh yeah, you got to check out mine. This is horrible. And she's like, oh yeah, that is pretty bad, because I had a pretty bad one. And I'm like, all right, now I showed you mine. You got to see yours. And she shows me this name, and it's like XIAO. So I'm like, this does not fucking help. So I'm like, so yeah, no.
Xylophone.
But I'm like, oh, that's a pretty name. Like, does anyone call you something for short? And she's like, oh, Sue, because her name was Zua or Sua. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Can I do that from now on? Then we didn't go on another date, probably because she could tell I didn't know who the fuck she was. But
there's just 2 hours of you having questions to get her name out. Do people call you anything for short? Nope. Oh well.
Oh really? Only my full name. Oh shit. Do you ever go on a date with a guy? Didn't know who the fuck you were? Yeah, common for you?
What would you say to a guy who came up to you and said, I don't know your name, even though we're on a date together? An asshole like that. How would you reply?
Yeah.
Can't imagine why you didn't get another date.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta be honest, I thought I was pretty slick, but then was confronted with her actual Chinese name and was fucking lost.
So is that the reason that you never dated another Chinese person, or was it because you were from Saukville, Wisconsin?
Right, yeah. It was 2 parts opportunity and 1 part fear of not knowing their name.
Well, that name was a mystery to Geiger, and these Oreos are a mystery to us. So let's get to sleuthing and see if we can figure out. Now, the release date, we are recording this a few weeks out, but the release date of the answer to this Oreo question is November 10th, and that is the day you are listening to this, or the day it was released. So we will find out, the listeners will find out right away how wrong we are. So I guess there's no real scale we're going to use today. We're just going to
Well, there
take
is a
guesses.
scale.
Okay, we're still going to rate them? Okay.
Yeah, on whether you like them or not, in addition to guessing the flavor. So I'll just run through it real quick. 3-point scale. Because these Oreos are a mystery, our scale is based off of famous people that solve mysteries. So starting at the top, the best fictional detective of all time. Number 1, Hercule Poirot. In the middle, Angela Lansbury from Murder, She Wrote. I don't know her character's name. At the bottom, lame ass Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I was 90% certain the top rating was going to be Scooby-Doo.
Oh my god, it totally should have been. Damn it. I fucked up.
Scooby-Doo, Nancy Drew, and another random detective ending in ooh.
And Sue.
Sue. That girl I went on a date with.
Give these a whiff and see. To me, I think just from first impression, might be tripe flavor, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's like a certain smell.
The cream looks weird when you look at them.
It almost smells like a little ginger snappish.
Looks like shiny or something.
I was just thinking gingerbread smell.
My wife and my daughters tried these about an hour ago, and I told them just to give me their guess, so I'll reveal those as well. But yeah, it does have a strong kind of gingerbread smell to it. What method are you using to eat it?
Put in mouth, take bite.
Don't you remember our 10 different ways to eat an Oreo? Like just lick
it. Wasn't one of them like put them on your windshield wipers, or am I confusing segments?
You are. You almost have to take them up. You have to take it apart because the chocolate's getting in the way.
Yeah.
Of me guessing.
This is almost definitely something like a gingerbread or cinnamon or something.
I don't think it's cinnamon.
I don't think cinnamon either. There is a ginger flavor to it. The cream tastes like more granular. Like I feel like I can taste the sugar granules in it. Maybe that's.
It's creamier. It's not the stiff vanilla. That's what I mean. It's like shiny and like almost like smooth and sticky, not like the stiffer.
It's not overly sweet, right? Like a lot of these custom Oreo flavors that we tried before were just so like sickly sweet.
Right. This is much more edible than like 75% of the Oreos that we tried in the tournament that were just awful. Like cherry Cokes and fireworks and things of that nature.
I agree.
It's like it's not that even far off. It's almost just like a regular Oreo with a hint of something in it. Oh, it's tough. It is tough. Do you guys have a inkling of which way you're going yet?
I need to eat another one.
I need a few more of these.
Yeah, maybe actually what I need to do is makeshift double stuff here.
Actually, I mean, if there was an Oreo detective, a Sherlock Holmes of Oreos, it would probably be Chad. I feel like.
Hercule Oreo. Is it Poirot?
All right.
I don't know if they're good.
Yeah, I like them. The problem in my head is like the cream doesn't match with a chocolate cookie. But I almost wonder if they had to do that just because it's a mystery and they're trying to make you guess. Because if they use like the vanilla cookie, it would be a giveaway.
Yeah, I was going to say these would be better with the vanilla cookie, I feel like.
All right. Geiger, let's do the ratings first. We're going to rate a cookie of unknown flavor, and then we'll circle around again and take our guesses. So, Geiger, what do you think? Which of these mystery solvers are you going to rate this as?
Who is the middle one again? The Hardy Boys? Which one?
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, not the wrestlers. Yeah, Jeff Hardy.
The middle one was Angela Lansbury from Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, right. I will give this an Angela Lansbury from Murder, She Wrote, which we were too lazy to even find out the name of that character. It's good. I mean, I think this is one where I would like 1 or 2, which I guess is an appropriate serving size. If I had more than like 2
This
Oreos.
is one where I can't eat the whole package in one sitting, so
Right.
I'm giving it a Sherlock Holmes.
But I think if I gave it more, like if I had more than 1 or 2 in a short succession, it'd get too sweet for me. I don't, that kind of like cinnamony, nutmeggy type flavor is not one I want to eat a ton of, unless I'm eating actual like gingerbread. I do. Am I supposed to give what I think it is too, or just the rating for now?
Yeah, we'll just do it at once. That's fine. Just do them both.
Okay.
Take a guess.
I also think the closest I can think of is gingerbread. There's something. I have a feeling I'm going to say gingerbread, and then they're going to say what it is, and I'm going to go, oh crap. Because like there's something else in the tip of my tongue that I can't figure out that doesn't quite line up with gingerbread. I'm thinking because it's fall, like maybe it's like pumpkin pie or like pumpkin pie latte or something like that, pumpkin spice. But I'll go with gingerbread because it definitely seems like it's in that kind of. It's the first thing that came to my head. So
Okay, it's a gingerbread and an Angela Lansbury in Murder She Wrote, who is the character's name is. I remember it because my wife likes that show.
No, edit that out.
Chad.
So I will tell you, Geiger, I know you're wrong probably because there is already a gingerbread Oreo.
Oh.
But that one comes with a vanilla cookie, so who knows? Maybe they just reissued it. Okay, so I do think it's gingerish, kind of nutmeggy sort of thing, but I'm going to go a slightly different route here with my guess. And first I'll say my rating. After the first couple, I was like, oh yeah, this is an Angela Lansbury in Murder, She Wrote. But I actually don't think it's that good. I think the consistency of the cream is off. And the more I sort of ate, because maybe it was because I was just isolating the cream a lot. But when I put them together in that makeshift double stuff and ate that, I was like, this is really not good. I don't want to eat any more of these. It has too much of that like spice in it and stuff. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit into a Sherlock Holmes. Here's what I think the flavor is. I think it is I'm going to go with that similar holiday theme, something that you sometimes put maybe nutmeg or some of these spices in. I'm going to go eggnog.
Oh.
Really? Ooh.
I bet you're right, actually. That's a really good guess.
I'm not sure.
That's what I meant. Like, there's something not quite gingerbready about it, but that's all I could think of. And I think you're right. You're dead on it. It's like a cinnamony, nutmeggy, and it also would make sense that the cream is like wetter, if that makes sense, right? Because it's a little more like liquidy.
All right. I think this is an Angela Lansbury from Murder, She Wrote. It's better than a lot of the Oreos we had. So many, if we had a 3-point scale, would have been the bottom of the scale.
That's true.
So it is better than that. I could eat a bunch of these. If someone handed them to me at a party, I would eat them.
Do you want me to mail you the rest of mine?
You're going to toss these, really?
No, I'll take them into work.
Okay. I was going to go gingerbread just on the smell. Like, nothing about the taste. Nothing about the taste is really even giving me a whole lot of hint. I'm just trying to go on the smell. I almost feel like it could be like a brown sugar type of deal, too. Tasting a little like oatmeal, brown sugar flavor. But I'm just going to go with, because I was going to say gingerbread. You pointed out there already was one, and also Geiger picked it. So just so we cover our bases here, I'm going to go with nutmeg, the nutmeg Oreo. But it does seem like it's got to be like a holiday theme is a good bet based on the release date, in between Halloween coming up on Thanksgiving. So we're kind of all in the same ballpark. I asked my family. One of my daughters said pumpkin pie, 9-year-old daughter. Another one said ginger. She was probably just thinking of cookies and stuff. And then my wife...
She wasn't thinking of little redheaded boys put in the Oreo?
My wife, who clearly just was like, what? She goes, I don't know, floral. So apparently it's a floral. Some kind of a floral thing.
The pumpkin pie is a good guess, but they do have a pumpkin pie Oreo also.
Okay.
That would just thrill the fans everywhere if they came out with this new flavor, and it just gave it like an ephemeral, like, hint of floral notes as a flavor. Like, fuck you, Oreo.
It's just, you just open the package and it's just regular Oreos with like a bunch of rose petals thrown in.
Tripe Oreo.
Hibiscus Oreo.
All right. So we have our guesses in. If you're listening to this, you can probably go search the internet and see if we are correct or not. And we'll be gloating in January when we find out and record an episode after that. All right. So what, guys, before we go, What is one of the greatest mysteries that you've ever discovered?
Wait, that I discovered and found the answer to?
You found there was a great mystery, right?
Uh-huh.
You found the answer to it. So not just like, I mean, it could just be something personal to you.
That time that Geiger went on Maury and found out he was not the father, that doesn't count?
Yeah.
That could count. But it could just be something like personal to you. Like it could relate to Saukville, for example.
Not a whole lot of mystery going on in Saukville.
What mysteries are there in Saukville?
Yeah. How did that mayor get elected?
I don't think I've ever had any mysteries. I mean, the other day I was trying to figure out why there was like a squealing sound coming from my wall, and turned out something's going up with my dishwasher. So I don't know if the pipes are loose. So that's the entertaining life I live.
I don't think that's a mystery. I think that's just a... Well, there's two mysteries. One was started today, and then one I'll name one from my childhood. So the one that I will hopefully find the answer to soon is, hey, where did the head of that mouse I found in my dog's mouth wind up? Because all I found was a mangled body and no head. So probably maybe he ate it. I should say. So that's mystery number one.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember when I was a kid, I'll have to paint a picture here. For those of you who follow Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers had like an old, their classic logo was pretty popular. It's like a mitt with a ball in the center. And when I was a kid, I just always thought, oh, it's just a baseball mitt with a ball in the center. Like, makes sense. It's a baseball team. And then it was like, I don't know, in the middle of middle school or something, or even like my freshman year of high school, someone explained to me there's actually an M and a B that make up the mitt in the logo. And it was like all world. It was like the original Da Vinci Code. It was like, oh, wow, look at that shit. It's made the logo infinitely better to me. So
that's like how there's an arrow in the FedEx logo. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I didn't even know that. There's an arrow in the FedEx logo?
Between the E and the X.
Oh, so it's like a negative space type thing? Okay. How about you, Novak? What's the mystery?
I actually is who shot President John F. Kennedy. It's a pretty clear mystery that I solved. Yeah. Did
Mystery
we
of our
land on the
time.
moon? Real or fake? Solve that.
Does jet fuel melt steel beams?
Wait, so don't hold out on us. What's the answer to these mysteries?
Oh, which one? We did land on the moon.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, and the Earth actually is Earth flat or round, which is still a mystery among some. Flat's the answer. So
okay,
solved.
Right.
And JFK blew his own brains out. That's the other. Just I don't know why I said that. This is stupid.
Wow. All right. Pretty sure that's taken a lot of heavily doctored footage. It's like JFK's lifting his own arm toward his head.
He had some kind of Australian boomerang gun. He like shot it forward and it came all the way back.
He had just found out the Earth was flat. He could not do it.
Right. He just realized that he had packed his jet fuel full of steel beams and was like, no.
I think, yeah, to me, the biggest mystery of my life is why I'm not married to Rashida Jones. That's probably, I mean, you'd think it would be, the natural fit for her, but.
Hold on.
Big mystery.
You have been telling us this entire time you were married to Rashida Jones. I went to your wedding and the woman was wearing a Rashida Jones mask. I just assumed she was just having a bad day.
That's all been a big conspiracy.
You told me she had facial paralysis temporarily. Oh, fuck. New mystery I just uncovered. Chad's wife isn't Rashida Jones. If you are Rashida Jones and you're listening and you want to, I don't know, sue us for defaming your name or something like that, you can reach us.
You want to hit me up.
Slide into his DMs.
Or you want to hit Chad up. He's not single, apparently, but
yeah.
Just slide right into his DMs.
If you want to go out on a date with me, I know how to pronounce your name.
Anyway, hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter. We have a You Tried Dat Facebook group. We are YouTriedDat@gmail.com, Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and SoundCloud. And reach out to us. Let us know what you think about the podcast. Definitely log what you think. If you've had the Mystery Oreo, let us know what you think it is. We'll see if you have the right to gloat along with us when we solve that mystery later on.
And also, if Rashida hits Chad up, he will reveal why JFK shot himself, which is a mystery most people want to know.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I know
That's what-
all about it.
That's what chicks want. They're like, I gotta get with that guy. He can reveal suicidal mysteries about why people killed themselves.
I gotta get with that guy who's being all coy about a clearly made up government conspiracy.
I'm also gonna tell you about chemtrails.
Also, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Sphinx blew his own nose off. So, little known fact.
And Michelangelo's David blew his own arms off because he had a small one.
And what? John Travolta and Nick Cage repeatedly blew their own face off.
Is it true that Mike?
So stupid.
Michelangelo's David's arms were originally made of steel beams, and like just up until Michelangelo got into his racket.
Right.
And Leonardo flew a plane into him as part of the rivalry. Did they have a rivalry, or is that just the Ninja Turtles?
Yes, Leonardo the Ninja Turtle.
Isn't that another? Can't you guys recite every line from the Ninja Turtles theme song?
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
We know Leonardo leads. Donatello what?
Does machines.
That's right. He has sex with machines. And Raphael is
Cool but crude. Or is it rude?
I think it's rude. I thought it was rude.
I think he's just rude. Cool but crude, trying to get this guy layers in the fucking cartoon theme song.
And finally, Michelangelo shot his own arms off, right?
And Michelangelo crashed a plane into his statue. Teenage Ninja Turtles.
And Michelangelo secretly supports Trump. Wait, what the fuck? If you got me started, I could probably keep going. I keep something like heroes in the half shell and they're green, which is like the stupidest part of the song.
When the evil Shredder attacks those turtle boys,
they don't cut him no slack.
Right, there you go.
Wait, no, what you meant to say, Novak, was because in the beginning, what do they chant? They chant prepubescent frogs of silent war. Prepubescent frogs of silent war. Remember that part?
The real mystery is why we didn't get a lot of dates growing up.
I couldn't remember her name, and then sang the turtle theme song on her for 30 minutes at lunch till she left.
All right.
But she does machines! So she walked out the door.
Let's call it there. But we'll be back next time when we'll be trying out 3 brand new things.
Deuces.
Yep.
Oh, here comes you know who. Yabba dabba fruit, delicious do.